Yeah, I know, and it wasn't even a toss-away remark, just something he said in an interview. It was a well-crafted, long opinion piece in the New York Times, which is the Bible of the left, speaking to leftists, that it was all over for their favourite guy. Yeah, but why didn't he say this 3 weeks ago when he saw Joe Biden having to be towed off the stage by President Obama, the former President Obama? Why wait until the whole world can see what he saw then?
Well, funnily enough, you're actually saying something similar to what the DNC, the campaign, said for Biden. They were briefing out to journalists, oh, George Clooney had to leave earlier, but Joe Biden stayed later, so he couldn't possibly be aware of how good Joe Biden was. But I think we're all asking questions about why all these people within the inner circle have had such a come to Jesus moment after the debate, when we've seen so many symptoms of this kind of decline, especially within the last year. But I mean, anyone who's been watching Joe Biden's career for a long time has seen that this hasn't been a new development. This has been something that's been happening in plain sight for quite some time. And I think everyone was willing to forgive this until we started seeing that this was going to be another election, another campaign. And this should have been a much more open conversation from the get-go, but he's been locked down by his campaign team. He does the least media of any modern-day president. I say this ad nauseam, but it's true. It's been true since the first year of his presidency, and this is how they've controlled the narrative. Even his biographers come out and said that he wasn't granted an interview with the president. He was allowed access to the White House and the people around him, but we weren't seeing him one-on-one, face-to-face, and that is what's been covered up in this time. And this is what was impossible to keep up during a presidential election campaign when you've got someone like Donald Trump going around doing the normal campaigning, going to events, going out and pressing the flesh with ordinary voters at little pit stops while he's on his way to and from campaigns. He set the pace and Joe Biden couldn't keep up.
No, you're quite right, Annelise. I mean, I recall you and I talking about Biden's decline 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't know why the Democrats are now pretending to be surprised. I mean, they know Biden better than you or I. But I'll give you another example of what's bothering me here. George Stephanopoulos, he used to be President Clinton's communications advisor, also Democrat, obviously, became a TV host. Biden gave him the big sit-down interview, the only sit-down interview, after his disastrous performance in the debate to prove that he still had it. The two of them had a chat side by side. But then just the other day, someone purporting to be a passerby, I think there was some sort of website person, saw Stephanopoulos in the street and asked him straight out, do you think the guy should serve another 4 years? And Stephanopoulos said no.
How you doing? Good. What do you think? Do you think Biden should step down? You talked to him more than anybody else have lately, and you could be honest. You don't think he can serve 4 more years? All right. That's an answer.
Stephanopoulos after that said, well, I shouldn't have said it. I mean, shouldn't have said it. It was the big question. Is this part of a cover-up?
Look, I was surprised. I've been reading just the same. I've been reading in the Daily Mail about these reports that they had panic meetings at ABC and that he had to go on to apologise because they needed to preserve that he was impartial and fair. And I watched that interview through a couple of times in the process of reporting on it. And he really was fair. And to say when you're approached on the street by what he must have assumed in that moment was an average punter and asked, do you think he can serve another 4 years? And he said, no, I don't think he can. That's not an out of the realm assessment when we have the entire White House press corps haranguing Karine Jean-Pierre about it. Were we not being told about visits by a Parkinson's physician because they're hiding a Parkinson's diagnosis? This is the tone at the moment. And when you talk about controlled interviews, the first interviews he did were on radio, and one of the radio hosts has been fired because she admitted that she agreed to have the campaign send her pre-scripted questions that she read out on air per the script, which is just, by any journalism measures, extraordinary. I've never heard of such a thing. This is just kind of showing how incapable they have been of dealing with normal press, and coming back into an election season, they didn't seem to think that they were going to have to do this. And this debate just changed
well,
all the
they try to hide it all, Annelise. They try to hide it all, and now it's blown up big time. Well, it's all going to come down, I guess. Well, all eyes will be tomorrow on what the Democrats have strangely billed as the big boy press conference, where Biden is going to front up to the press. So let's see how it goes through that.
Yeah.
This could be... I mean, what a big boy press conference. I mean, seriously, a press conference should be so routine. But anyway, it'll be box office dynamite, I suspect. Annelise Nielsen, thank you so much for your time.
Right. Thank you.